Lately, I've been watching a show that, in my opinion, is the best anime I've seen in a very long time. It's none other than The Great Jahy Will Not Be Discouraged. Now, I know everyone has their own opinions about what's the best, but this one's been really special to me. From the characters to the wacky world, it was a knock out of the park. This story starts with the great and powerful Jahy, second in command of the Dark Realm. Here our queen rules above all of her subjects with an iron fist. On one fateful day, however, the Dark Realm is attacked by a single magical girl. The Pink Warrior destroys their giant mana crystal and obliterates the Dark Realm. Now in this show, mana crystals are very important items. Think of them like the Dragon Balls or Chaos symbols. Without them, Jahy has nothing, no power or even a home to speak of. She is then thrust into the human realm, homeless and with no idea how to live in our world. Thankfully, a pair of sisters decide to take the poor girl in, giving her a place to stay and even a job. Of course, she's not very grateful, insulting her small apartment and refusing to pay rent. But over time, she grows used to doing human things, such as paying bills or having to struggle to afford nice things. I love the cute and wacky vibe of this show. It almost feels like a cartoon. Everyone here has great personalities and makes me want to see them in every episode. Most shows' main protags get a little stale, but I never found myself getting tired of Jahy. She's a cocky but also very human character. While working at her landlord's restaurant, she would love to tell everyone to stick it, though for the sake of making money, she has to put on a happy facade and forget her status of nobility. A little naive, she struggles to keep cash and find mana crystals without getting into some sort of weird predicament. Much like any protagonist, though, she makes many new friends throughout her journey. Speaking of these friends, two I really liked were Kokoro and the Dark Lord. Kokoro is a sweet and innocent young girl that befriends the great Jahy. Throughout the show, she looks up to Jahy and even calls her great constantly. You can tell she truly cares about the protagonist and is honestly the closest friend she could have. Jahy also cares about this young girl as well, as no matter what's going on, she always makes time to play. In one episode, Kokoro acts very distant and stays clear of Jahy. Our heroine is worried to death that she did something wrong to her little buddy. This results in her chasing Kokoro around until she gets her answer, which ultimately turned out to be something totally insignificant in the end. Not giving any spoilers here though, just go watch it. Now let's talk about Best Girl, Mao-sama, the Dark Lord. She is the ruler of the Dark Realm and an absolute cutie, whom I'd love to just pinch her cheeks. The Dark Lord doesn't come in till pretty late in the show, but she's left a big mark on me. She constantly eats, even stealing food from the other characters to fill her small tummy. She also can't speak and does most of her communicating through funny faces. It's really surprising how a character without a voice can so easily steal the show. As I've read the manga, I can say that her character gets even better, but again, I won't give you any spoilers here. Lastly, we'll talk about a pretty important character to the story, Kyoko the Magical Girl. This is the girl that ruins Jahy's life and is probably one of the strongest in the show. Kyoko has had a hard life and had no family. She lives in a creepy old mansion all by herself. Because of her poor life, she wants to take all of the bad luck in the world and bring it on to herself. I know what you're thinking, total masochist, right? Well, as it turns out, she just needed a couple of friends, and our girl Jahy had the unfortunate luck to become one of her buddies. Jahy promises to look after the girl and tells her that she doesn't have to shoulder everyone's burdens alone. After this, she becomes a valuable and sometimes annoying friend to our heroine. She even ends up getting a job at the same restaurant as Jahy. Stalk her much? The Dark Lord also takes a liking to her, being that the girl keeps her fed and housed in her creepy manner. The openings and endings were your typical moe tunes, showing all of the characters and giving some foreshadowing to the wacky world they live in. At the time of writing, Crunchyroll is airing an English dub that's worth checking out, even though I think the sub VAs did a way better job with this one. The OST wasn't anything amazing, as I can't recall any catchy songs. It was definitely a far cry to something epic like the Bleach soundtrack. This show has 20 episodes and a few volumes of the manga in English. I've absolutely loved every bit of it. Every Sunday, I found myself glued to the TV screen no matter what was going on in my life. Its story, the cuteness, I'm hooked. I've even bought the manga and checked out other titles by Wakame Konbu, the creator of this masterpiece. Her stories are good, with another one of her works, The Maid I Hired Recently is Mysterious, getting its own adaptation, though I don't think this one could even hold a candle to Jahy-sama. In fact, years down the road I can already tell that I'll look back on this show with high regard. If you haven't checked it out yet, please do so. It airs on Crunchyroll and is a hilarious and small ride with a great story. If you enjoyed this, then thank you for watching. I've been having fun making these videos, but if you have any tips for me, feel free to leave them in the comments. And tell me if there's an anime you'd like me to review, because I'd love to do it.